What, Hugo?
Oh no.
I was gonna say I thought it was hilarious how last episode we kept talking about the lawnmower and we couldn't hear it in the.
Yeah, it's like barely.
Oh really? You
Yeah.
can't hear
Yeah,
it?
like barely.
That's awesome.
Okay, so the story. I was
Okay,
gonna
back
tell,
to it.
We were talking about keychains and everything. So one time I was playing poker at some kid's house, and Derek lost, my friend, and he was leaving to go to the ATM to get more money, and on his way back he got pulled over by a cop.
Yeah.
So, he threw his keys up on the dashboard and put his hands up in the air. And the cop just tells him to, like, stop riding the guy's ass in front of him, and he was like, sorry, officer. Somehow, it has such a way with words around police officers that he's gotten pulled over 4 times, never gotten more than a verbal warning.
He's insane.
Which is crazy. But,
Correct.
but when he threw his keys on the dashboard, he has just a little tiny, like, loop and the car key. And that's it. So when that happened, it fell into the dashboard of the car. And so the cop helped him, like, look for it, like, in the car, the dashboard of the car. And he couldn't get it. So the cop drove him back to the poker game.
I remember him telling the story.
And we were like, what the fuck? Like, and then the kid's dad, whose house we were at, went and helped him find the car key in the dashboard.
Yeah.
But, like,
That's awesome.
talking about simple car keys, it can actually just totally
you're screwed
ruin your
over.
day.
You gotta have the good jingle, the perfect amount of volume on yours to really have. I don't have a lanyard.
Oh, I have some volume in this thing. You got some volume too.
I have some volume here.
My volume is a lot of plastic though. You have a lot more keys than I do.
I have a few keys.
JT's a janitor in his day off, so he needs.
Yeah, I'm a janitor on this side.
I only have 2 keys, and one of them is a house key that doesn't even work.
My fat car key. Like, tell me this isn't the dumbest
I think it's
thing in the
huge.
world.
Mine's very round. Yours is very long.
Like, it's a key you stick in, but it looks like one of those, like...
Wait, you stick that in?
You stick this in. This isn't like an automatic start.
Oh, what?
What
you stick
the hell?
this thing in.
I got this, Johnson.
That's weird.
For reference, it's this weird... I don't even know what shape you'd call this. Light bulb looking.
It looks
Light
like
bulb shape
the white robot from WALL-E.
Yeah, it kind of does.
It does.
And
Eva.
you stick the bottom of it in there, and you start the car. So that's how cars work, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening.
I need to get me a lanyard.
You do need to get you a lanyard.
I
have a full send lanyard that I have that I don't use that has a bottle opener already on it. So
That's incredible.
if you ever would like
Hugo's
that,
gonna need one of those.
he-
I'm
oh
gonna
yeah,
need
he-
one of those.
for preference
Oh my-
or for preface, that is a joke.
That is a joke.
That is a
Hugo's
joke.
18 years old, so he does not drink. Yeah, but you can just take it. I don't care.
Okay.
I don't know if you want a full send lanyard.
Parting gifts.
People are gonna think you're so college,
You're so
Nelk.
fraternal.
so fraternal. Yeah, you're so fertile. Hugo.
So fertile.
fertile.
Wow.
Welcome to the
Welcome,
podcast.
everybody.
Welcome everybody back.
Uh,
Episode 5.
Episode 5. We've been doing pretty good so far. You know what? It's funny hearing, like, in the halls and stuff at school. It's funny hearing people talk about the podcast, like,
It is.
to me. Like, I don't know if any of you guys have any of these stories, but I had this girl that's in my advisory. She was like, hey, I listened to your podcast last night. Like, it's so funny. And I was like, oh my God, like, thank you so much. Like, which episode did you listen to? She goes, the first 3.
That's awesome.
And I was like, what? Like, you listen to all 3? And she goes, yeah, my dad was listening for some of it too because we were in the car. And I was
That's
like, are you
hilarious.
serious? And she's like, yeah.
Yeah, Natalie Cohen in psychology, she talked to me after, I think, the James Chisholm episode, and she was like, Hugo, I listened to the podcast. She goes, it's so funny. It's just like an hour of you being a Virgo. And I was...
Which is also
That's
funny
hilarious.
because so we always talk about how we're all the same people, and me and Hugo have the same birthday, so we're both Virgos. So
Yeah.
I wonder if we have we're close enough, but also far away enough to where I would not be seen as a Virgo.
Mm.
And JT, I don't even know what's up with you.
I'm a Taurus.
Okay.
So I don't know
It's
what
like,
the hell
we
that
all
means,
act
but
like-
I'm a Taurus.
We get told we all act the same. So if it's like Hugo's being a Virgo for an hour, then it's got to mean like all 3 of us are a Virgo for an hour.
Let's consult Natalie Cohen on this. 'cause
Yeah,
I don't know.
we need to
I'm
call
ready
in
to talk
the
about this.
Maybe our
horoscope specialist.
maybe
one time.
the stars were aligned when the same way when we were I don't know, born or something.
Born? Yes, they were. We have the same birthday.
No.
Oh, okay.
The moons were in full tilt.
effect.
I don't know how the hell
The
it.
moon hit
They
his
were
eye
ready.
like a big
The
pizza
tides
pie.
were high.
Yeah, the moon.
When
The moon.
The moon
hit
hit
his
his eye like a
Just
big
hit
fat
my eye,
pizza
dude.
pie.
And
JT, you
Ben Sheehan, I saw your comment. He listened all the way through. He heard our compliment.
It's my guy.
Shout out
Thank
Benji,
you, Ben.
the goat.
Benji.
And shout out Bryson for supposed
For
to
not
be being
showing
our super
up.
secret guest.
Yeah,
and
thanks, Bryson.
bailing. And I know he's not going to listen, and that's okay.
Yeah.
What a guy.
Do JT, you have any stories about people talking to you about the podcast?
Actually, not really, which is kind of more weird. But, well, actually, no, in electrical, I know, like, Aiden comes up, like, almost every, like, Friday if we have electrical. He's
Yeah.
like, listened to it last night. Really, like, I love it.
I love
Good
it,
stuff.
dude.
Yeah, dude, I love that
You ever
guy.
thought about going pro?
And,
Shut
and
up.
mainly when I hear about it, it'll be in the parking lot, and I'm already standing next
Yeah.
to you guys, so
Yeah.
that's usually when I hear about it. But very good feedback.
We do have
Good
like
feedback.
a good set. We have like a good 3 devoted people who listen to the whole thing.
Yes.
Devin.
That's
example.
okay. I'm okay
Yeah,
with
that's
that.
Benji
fine.
listens.
Devin is like he says listens to it while he does homework.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a lot
That's
of
what
people
I
that say
heard.
stuff like that.
Yes, I have gotten a lot of comments that say, "Oh, I listened to it while I was doing homework." I'm like, "How the hell could you?" Do that?
No, I try to
Yeah.
do that and I like get so like I can't.
I'd
do
get
it.
so distracted. I'm like, props to you guys who do that. 'Cause,
Yeah.
3 or 4 people have actually told me that.
I used to be able to do stuff while I did homework. I used to be able to like watch a TV show or do like listen to music, but like I
Yeah.
can't even like I can barely do that. Like now when I do homework, like the only music I can listen to, it's got to be like the Minecraft soundtrack.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was about to say the exact same words.
And then like very baseline music with like little to no words
Words.
Yeah,
Yeah.
at all.
Same.
Like, and I hate to say it, but like the Whiplash soundtrack, which I can listen to
God damn it.
because it's got like little to no words, and it's
Have you
very
ever seen Whiplash?
makes me go fast. Shut up.
You know that Whiplash.
Whiplash. Well, actually, we do have a good question about movies. Even
Okay.
though we talked a lot about movies last week, and we don't have to go into detail about this today. We'll talk about it later. But I was asked for some top movies list of all time from each of us. So we can talk about that later. But I just want to say first, thank you to everyone that sent in a question
Thank you very
For real.
much.
through
Thank you,
my
ladies
story
and gentle.
on Instagram. I really appreciate it. We got about, let's check right now. We got about 6 questions.
That's good.
Which
I
I,
thought-
think is
That'll
pretty
fill
good.
the time.
You started with 1, and I thought you were about to say 100. And I'm like, no shot, 100 people.
That would be pretty sweet.
That would be cool.
I'd cry.
Yeah. 100 questions. We just have to like spitfire, like no explanation.
Lightning round.
Yeah. Lightning round for the questions. Yeah. So
Should we-
do
let's
you-
just go
just
into
get
it.
into
I
it.
have nothing
Yeah.
else to
Let's
talk
just
about.
get
Yeah,
into
I have no.
I don't think we got too
I was
much.
banking on our guest carrying our podcast for today.
Well, funny you say that.
Oh,
Because
no way.
our first question is from
Comes
a
from?
past guest, James Chisholm.
Ah.
So maybe he is still
the old
carrying
JC.
the podcast.
Jamel.
For the
My
first question we
godfather,
have,
Jameson.
ass for your face or face for your ass?
Ah.
Wow.
Wait, so would they be switched?
No,
Wait.
because if it was switched, you wouldn't have
So
an
if I had an ass for, or if
If
I
you had
had
an
a
ass for a
face,
face, you'd have 2 asses,
if I
no
had
faces.
a face for an ass.
If you had a face for an ass, you'd have
okay,
2 faces,
I'd do
no
face
ass.
for an
Can I
ass.
still like see, smell, eat?
What? How do I
Like-
go to the bathroom with a face for?
Yeah, that's the only thing.
Would I feel it in both places?
No shot, right?
With
'Cause it's
the-
not the same. It's different. Like it's not like you're just like copy and pasting. I mean, well,
Like I wouldn't have
you
a
are, but
brain.
not like the
I wouldn't have a
muscles
brain like in
on
my
your ass.
lower back.
no, it would just be another face, which is like almost.
Okay, so it
So
would
you wouldn't be 2
I'd have
people,
the,
you'd still just
I'd
be
have
one
the
person.
same feeling on my
On
like
your
that I
ass.
have on my ass right now that I would on my face. So like,
Yeah, but like what if?
So
what,
you'd just be like
when
a
you,
zombie.
Do I
What about when you
taste
sit
buds?
down?
Ass face.
Like when you sit down.
do I have taste buds?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Do you have all the features of
Oh God.
that I have now? Because if I have all the features, I guess I'd rather take the ass face.
But then, if you're using the same like explanation for an ass face, then you can't talk or look or see or hear.
yeah, if I
or
can't do
anything.
then any of that, then I'd
Yeah,
probably put a face
But
on my
think
ass.
about going to the bathroom with the taste buds.
Oh, we'll just it's tough, but you kind of have
I'll
to.
make the sacrifice. I'll go with ass face or face. What? No, face ass.
Face on
Face
on
Face
ass.
on my
ass.
ass.
Face on ass.
Yeah.
That should be like a new porno like subcategory.
That's a good like album name.
Face on ass.
Yeah. For some like 100 gex like some like
That is
whack
that is the
music
name
like
of a 100
that.
Gex song,
Face
bro.
Like
on
That they
ass.
would definitely do
Yeah,
that.
like some whack like band.
Face
like
on
that.
ass, but it's spelled all weird.
Yeah, like numbers and stuff like
Yeah, the whole shebang.
The whole
XX
thing.
face on ass XX _
that. Yeah.
yeah, something like that. Loyal viewer Benji says, "Who was in Paris?"
I'm not answering that.
I don't know if I should answer that either.
Well, the
Well, actually,
I believe
We'll
that
leave it up to your own imagination,
yeah, just
Benji.
think.
there's a lot of people in Paris. So, French people,
French
Yeah,
people.
I mean,
There's
Everyone
probably
else?
Tower,
probably more than
Everyone
French
else?
people too.
tourists,
Yep.
There's a bunch of
People
hobos.
born in.
probably some hobos. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did we talk about?
We talked about pissing in France.
And then we talked about the Paris like paradox thing or whatever.
What
right?
was that?
Not the paradox, the Paris theory or whatever.
What's the Paris
No.
theory?
I'm 95% sure you're the one that brought it up.
What?
Tourists go to Paris thinking it's the most beautiful thing in the world, and they have such high expectations because of all the pictures and everything they see. And then they get there and they realize it's just
a dump.
It's just a normal city, which means it's a dump. And they it's like there's this thing called like Paris depression, where it's like you
Really?
like just for
Huh.
going to Paris
That's
and
hilarious.
realizing that like your hopes were let down.
I mean, I've been to Paris and my hopes were not let down. I really liked it. So
But did you see like a lot of homeless people and stuff?
yeah, I mean,
Did you see any
but it
rats
was like
cooking food?
yes, actually, it was very nice.
No way.
Yeah, you saw that, but like the others, like just the architecture of the buildings, like the feeling of like you're in like a European city was really
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah, that's pretty sick. I've never
Um,
been able to have that feeling, but I hope to have it at some point
Have you
in
seen
my life.
JT? Speaking of Ratatouille,
The ride?
Someone made a
Oh.
concept of what it would be if they made a second musical,
Yeah,
or not a musical, Jesus
Whoa.
Christ, a second movie.
I did see that.
Where it similar to Cars 2, minus the spying, but like they go to like
Oh, another episode where Hugo
I was
brings up
about to
cars.
just say
Oh.
that this is like going on 3 episodes now where
Oh,
Hugo's
geez.
mentioned
Hugo's
cars
brought
at
up
least
cars.
once.
Do you like
Um,
Cars more than I like Whiplash?
maybe.
Maybe.
It's just so like in my subconscious that I like think about it all the time. It's just like the first, like I said, the first movie I watched. But anyway,
All right.
you go. Rat goes to a.
His name is Remy.
Remy goes to like an international cooking competition and meets other
Other
either rats or
are there.
animals from all over the world.
That's actually a
And
good.
they all
I actually
cook-
like that.
I do too. I think that's perfect, and that's exactly what they would have done. The international.
I like that a lot. I think
Interrational
they should
rat.
do that. You got like a bulldog like cooking hamburgers and stuff from America. And,
Yeah.
It'd be totally like stereotypical, but
The
like,
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But like, so is the Cars. So is Cars too.
yeah, but like whatever. It'd be a
Yeah.
good movie.
Partially. I think that would be goaded.
That was back when being stereotypical
It's a
wasn't
good-
as bad.
Yeah, now it's like a big
Yeah.
When they
deal.
made
in
Cars
2003.
yeah, something like that. Just
All
goes
right.
to show how much times have changed, really.
Truly.
Let's see. I have another funny question, and then I have
Yeah.
a good question that can take us a
Okay.
while to talk about. Good listener Josh Carmichael asks, "Would you rather look like JarJar Binks or sound like JarJar Binks? You cannot kill yourself, by the way."
I've heard that.
Thank you.
That gets me every time.
It's
when
so
that
funny
question
every
is
time.
like,
It's
you
so
cannot
good.
kill-
It's
you cannot
such a
kill
good one.
yourself. That's interesting. You go. I need time
I'm just
to think.
trying to think. I'm imagining
Look
Jar
like
Jar
him.
Binks' body and just my voice being the one coming out. And then I'm also trying to imagine my body with Jar Jar Binks' voice coming out. And I think that my looks don't carry me far enough in this world to be able to live a successful
But will
life.
Jar Jar Binks' looks carry you far?
Honestly, it
I
might.
think my smooth talking could find me my
Fuck off.
my like one person. I think because you gotta think about it like this, right?
Let's
When
call
you're
in Emily and ask her
redundant.
her
You
opinion.
got- yeah.
Ask her opinion.
You have to you got to think about the future of your life, and things you want to do in the future. For most people, that's just marry and have kids. And so if you're trying to achieve that goal, you have to think about how easy versus how hard that kind of is. And then also keeping a stable job. If you have those two things and no outside factors, most people would consider their lives like successful. A happy, healthy family.
Which most of them you can do with
a
talking.
stable job. Exactly.
Communicating.
You can do it with communication. And I think it's way easier to do that than overall looks.
You could have a whole stable job where you're like a computer programmer where no one knows what you look like. You could.
That's true.
Like you can. Or
Also,
something like
you'd
that.
be the only person on Earth who looks like that, so you'd be like instantly famous.
That's very
Like you
true.
could make money just because you look like JarJar Binks.
Binks.
But at the same time, if you choose his voice, like you can't really change your looks, especially if you look like JarJar Binks. Like you can't hide that.
Right.
But you could like
You can embrace
change
it.
your voice.
Yeah.
You know, like you could talk like
You could hire a vocal coach.
no, except you say
Like
Misa
that.
after like every 3 words.
These
So
are gonna sound like Jar Jar Binks.
yeah, because you could
I
like
could,
make
like,
it deeper. Because you could like forcefully make
These
yourself
are
like
gonna
talk like
sound like Jar Jar
deeper.
Binks.
But you'd be like Misa got a sound.
But it's
I choose.
well, you
look.
can't kill yourself. So
That's true.
I gotta choose the looks.
I choose look
I'd
too.
rather
I'm
look
just
like
trying to
that.
look at
Looks.
the argument of voice.
No, I get what you.
I would choose looks as
Let me play
well.
devil's advocate for once.
Look like Jar Jar Binks. Yeah, you'd just be such a clown if you talked like that.
Yeah.
And like you could,
no one would
you
take
could totally
you
embrace
seriously.
it, and you go to every Comic-Con and you'd like win every like costume thing.
That's
like-
so real. And, like touching
Wait,
your
you
face
heard
and
how
stuff.
Charlie Chaplin, when he like back in the day, went to like a Charlie Chaplin lookalike, and he got like 5th.
And he
place or
didn't
something
win,
like
yeah.
that.
Lost.
Like, it
Yeah.
wasn't even close. He got like 5th.
Yeah.
Which is so funny. That guy was such a clown.
What a
Also,
guy.
Houdini. Both
Yeah.
of them were crazy.
Houdini, he was a magical man.
He
Magical.
did some magical stuff.
He did some
And there's
stuff.
some magic. Oh, I'll say that again.
You could say that again.
Another question. Loyal listener Justin Gates. Would you sell your soul for fame and money?
No. Fame and money, I feel as if isn't, in my opinion. And obviously, money is good. Obviously, we all like money. We all love money.
I'll say that.
money.
But the baggage that fame brings, and I feel like it's not worth it. And also, what does sell your soul mean? What, you go to hell? when
That's
you're
what I was
done?
That's what I'm
Right.
saying. I feel like this is a very arbitrary.
Yeah. Do
Yeah,
you sell your soul? Is this a Ghost Rider perspective where you become Ghost Rider? Because
that's
you
badass.
hunt down souls of the damned for the devil. Because
Yeah.
if that
Screw the
happened,
fame
then
and
I
money,
would
I'll
do
just
that.
do it anyway.
Yes,
Yeah.
then I would be Ghost Rider. But if it was
Davy
like
Jones.
if it was like just I go to hell when I die,
Sounds like not a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm good with all that.
I think you're more likely to get this answer out, like a yes out of me from this, if it was just like money, no
money.
fame.
Yeah.
Would you sell your soul for a shit ton of money and no fame?
I
I'd probably
feel
be
like-
yeah.
Honestly, I feel like fame is a negative. Like
Nowadays, I think it's the connotation towards being famous is definitely becoming more
yeah.
of a negative thing.
Well, especially like not that it's so common, but like
It's easy.
anyone can get followers or something. Anyone, as long
Yeah.
as they have an editor and as long as they can copy ideas from other people.
It's much
can get-
easier.
well,
Have
I
you
don't
ever
know, man.
seen
I don't know.
like have you ever come across someone on like your Instagram Explore page or like
Yeah.
TikTok who has like over a million
Millions, yeah.
followers and you've never heard of them and they do stuff that is exactly like 5 other people you've
so then
seen
do
with
we
the
even,
same.
so then do we consider them famous?
That's the thing. Like, well, like
Yeah. I
is
feel
it-
like what fame are you
it's so
getting?
we're getting fame inflation.
Like, cause you
Ooh,
just have like
fameflation.
Fameflation.
I agree with
No
that.
one's famous. Well, like
But
of course there's like
Well, there's, like,
there's
A-list
Ryan
celebrities.
Reynolds and like Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
That's celebrities. But then there's like people with millions of followers that are like did it by dancing, and it's
Yeah.
like,
Well, when I think about this, I think about like Twitch a lot.
yeah,
Like talking about this, and I don't know. I do agree with you on the fame inflation, but I think as times go on, like media and consumption changes. So if we're consuming more media, that's
Yep.
got to mean more people have to be famous, right?
that's true.
So it is an inflation. Well, yes, it's an inflation, but are we gonna consider that a bad thing? Because I know what you said about like TikTok dancers and like the cam girls and all that kind of stuff, but I don't know. I just think it's super interesting that we have so many people nowadays that you can look at online and consider famous, whereas in the past it was never like that, like at all.
Like
That's
everyone,
true.
You just had the people on the TV and the people on the radio and the people playing sports.
and everyone knew them too.
And everyone
Because you
right.
could know, like, you could be a fan of, like, some dude who has millions of followers, and I could have no idea who he is.
Absolutely no clue.
Never
Right.
even heard of him, and he's famous.
Right. And you can even get lower with that, where it's like on Twitch, like there are people that are streaming for thousands of people, like tens of thousands of people, and those are like the big dogs. But then like it eventually like it takes a big drop off, and then like you have the people that are streaming to like 500-600 people, not even like 1,000 people, and then they're still making like enough money to do it as like their only job.
Yeah.
And, like, do you consider that being famous? Like, what if people have a bunch of followers on Instagram and they do absolutely nothing except have a bunch of followers? Like, you know what I mean? What really can you consider famous nowadays?
That's
it's just
true.
an interesting topic.
That is true.
Okay.
Conclusion, though, I don't think I would sell my soul.
No.
Yeah, I have to say no, too. Just
Only to the
morally.
turkey.
Well, and I guess
Only for the
what
turkey.
you've talked about, like, fame is now in so many different forms. Like what?
So many.
Like
oh my
what?
God,
What?
yeah.
Say
Imagine,
you become
like, if,
famous. What would you be? Robert Downey Jr. level, or would you be?
like an ASMR girl on YouTube.
Yeah. Like.
Yeah, you'd have to, like, I feel like if you could pick your fame, like, if I could be like, yeah, I'm a famous director and I have millions of dollars, I can make whatever movie I want.
Right.
I'm more inclined to then sell my soul to
Then
them.
that's
Yeah.
like personal
Yeah.
dream. Would
Yeah.
you sell your soul for your own personal
But if it's just
dreams?
like, oh, you have, like, this set amount of money and you're just famous, like, people just know who you are. Screw
I'm trying to
that.
think of someone who people just know who they are. Like they're
And
not
they don't
famous
do
for
anything?
Yeah.
There's a lot of people like that, but
Um,
I
I
can't
mean, the
think
easiest
of
one
it.
to say that people say and is wrong is the Kardashians. But I do think that's wrong.
Yeah. I mean, well, there's certain people who were born into it and actually did nothing. Like.
Well, did nothing to start. Like they were born
Well.
famous, but then
No,
did
like the.
thing. Like there's none of them that like none of the Kardashians are just sitting around doing nothing except for Rob Kardashian,
And he's
like
the least famous.
getting no like doing nothing and just getting no recognition.
But none of the Kardashians like have like I don't know. None of them have really added anything. Like there's no
They don't have some, like,
They haven't
talent.
started. Well, someone's starting a movie, but they haven't like
Good one.
been in movies. They haven't. They've sold beauty products, but how much of that is
Kourtney
them, and
Kardashian
how
was
much
in
of that is
He's
just
All
like
That, actually.
like your agent? Like how much of that is like people you hired to do stuff for you?
Well, but I mean, come on, like that really works down the line of there's always people that have assistants, you know what I mean?
I know. Yeah. Yeah.
Like you think Jeff Bezos looks at every Amazon order?
No.
Yes.
Yes.
He
Kurt-
sits on his computer all day and just, like, confirm.
It's rolling through
Confirm.
like a chat log.
Yeah.
Of just all like coming through like thousands at a second.
Just like, oh, this is a weird order.
yeah.
He's like,
Sure.
wow.
Sure,
Just,
buddy.
like, confirming every
We sell
order.
those?
Whoa!
I mean, Kim Kardashian, she's a lawyer now.
She's a lawyer?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
No.
Yeah, she's a lawyer in the state of California.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
She represented me. I'd be scared.
Did she represent
What?
herself in?
Actually, no. I feel like
the
she'd win, like,
divorce?
everything just because she's, like, Kim Kardashian.
I don't know. I did hear that she failed her what's it called? What's like the really important lawyer test?
bar test.
Bar test.
Yeah, she did fail the bar test, but she's still like, so she's not technically her own lawyer, but she's like working her way up and like she's doing cases, but like she's not technically
Well, I know
whatever
she
you
was-
consider a lawyer to be after the bar test.
She was She
A
was big
lawyer.
into, like, trying to get like, people pardoned for, like, that were, like,
Yeah.
just on, like, minor drug
Like
charges
Kanye?
and stuff.
Yeah, she
So
is
she-
very active politically,
That's good.
taking
Yeah.
after her father, which I think is pretty cool. Did you see her talking on SNL a couple weeks ago?
I actually heard her SNL episode was good.
I heard it was and I listened to some of her the monologue.
Yeah.
It was fucking funny.
That's good.
Dude,
yeah.
she roasted like her whole family.
I think Kim is my favorite out of all of them.
I agree.
Yeah.
Kim
she's good.
Yeah,
She's funny.
Kim's probably my favorite, like, personality-wise. And I only, like, say that because, like, my mom, my sister, there was, like, a couple years ago, where all they watched was Keeping Up with the Kardashians. It's like right when we got Hulu, and it was like all they watched. Like they watched the whole show through. Started back in like 2007, whenever the show was started or whatever it was, and like so I have seen like a lot of Keeping Up with the Kardashians just because it was on. It's one of those shows where you sit down on your phone for a minute on like the couch, and then you look up and you don't look back down for like
you
2
hear
hours.
You're like, what the fuck do they say? And then you just watching.
You
it
just
forever.
watch. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like one of those shows. So that's how I feel. But yeah, Kim's pretty funny. But yeah, she made a joke about Caitlyn and about Kanye, and she was like, you know, something about politics, and she was like, but I can't be the third failed politician in my family.
That's hilarious.
Which is pretty funny. And then she had a lot of other good jokes, and then she kissed Pete Davidson while dressed as Princess Jasmine.
I saw that.
Which is pretty funny.
Awesome.
He's living out our dreams.
Yeah.
Pete Davidson is one of the ugliest dudes I've ever seen. And
How is he?
He's
are
like the new age
swooning.
Buscemi. Why can't I think of his first
Steve
name?
Buscemi?
Buscemi.
Are
Did people think
simping
Steve
over
Buscemi
Steve
was
Buscemi?
sexy though back in the day? Did they?
People think Pete Davidson's sexy.
Yes.
How?
People are in love with him.
No, Steve Buscemi actually looked like
Not a lizard.
No, yeah, he looked like a normal dude
what, like
back
from
in the day.
Reservoir Dogs and like
Yeah,
those days?
like well,
I
even
always
before
thought
that.
before that.
I always thought
like
that Steve Buscemi was the grown-up kid from Home Alone. I thought that was just who he.
I can
Macaulay
see that.
Culkin.
Yeah.
I can see
That guy
I
looks
thought-
like he's the kid from Home Alone still.
Yeah, yeah, he does. Like
He
when
does.
But I thought I was like, wow, he kind of looks like the Home Alone kid.
That's
GT, do
pretty
you want to
funny.
pass me a water?
No.
No. I was actually
Speaking
gonna
of-
grab one too, but
Speaking of saying things at the same exact time, we were at Colby's yesterday. Colby Keating
Yeah.
playing poker, and JT walks in the door. And as he walks in the door, Colby and he's like talking. He like says hi to Colby's parents or whatever. And Colby goes,
Yep.
"Leo, do you want a drink or anything?" And I said, no, I'm all right for now, thank you though." And then he goes, "JT, you need a drink?" And he's like, literally mid conversation with like the parents, like saying hi, whatever. Looks down and he goes, "No, I'm all set for now, thanks though." Or like it
I
was
said
the
word
same
for
exact
word
Same thing.
exactly
And
what he said.
Colby goes, "Huh, that's funny. That's word for word what he said." And we just like started laughing because we know that's exactly how it goes nowadays.
Classic.
JT is also a Virgo.
Classic.
Or I'm
Virgo
a
moment.
Taurus.
Virgo moment.
Virgo moment. Virgin
Well,
moment.
I never understood you have multiple signs. I think.
Yeah,
You
you have like
can't-
a rising.
Oh my God,
and
Yeah,
so
falling.
weird.
you have
What-
the
I don't know what
rising
that is.
one and
Yeah.
Maybe we need Natalie on the podcast.
I
to
asked.
tell me.
Ooh, that would be so interesting. I asked Natalie. That would probably bring us some more female viewers. Probably need some of those. I asked Natalie a couple months ago if she would do my horoscope thing or whatever.
Yeah.
And she did, and she explained the whole thing to me. I actually have it all
I
saved
don't
in my
understand
phone.
it.
And
I want to.
She
though.
has mine memorized, I think.
it is
I don't
crazy.
even know what it is.
No,
She,
she has
my
all of them
whole
memorized.
thing.
Wait, did I not
She
save it in the
memorizes
You
chat?
guys have the same one though, right?
Me and Hugo. Yes, but
Probably. But
not
But
all of our
doesn't
things
the
are same.
time we were born affect it? Like I was born in the early morning.
Why did I not save
And I
it? I
think
did
he
save
was
it.
born
Dude,
in
look
the-
at all
like
the look at everything that she wrote.
What?
Jesus Christ.
Dude, it is
For our listeners,
crazy.
we got over a page of text on Snapchat. Of,
so funny.
I just never. I thought it was just everyone has their one corresponding with their month of when
yeah.
they're born.
No, there's a
But
whole.
no, there's you have 7 different ones for
yeah, because you have
this
a rising and a
and
falling, and then you have one for every planet. So you have a sun, you have a sun, and you have a Mars and an Earth.
But the Pluto one got canceled a few years ago.
Imagine you're oh,
that
this
one doesn't count.
Imagine someone's oh, this Pluto sign really describes who I am, and then it's
They take it
Pluto
out,
is
and
gone.
Pluto, and then they kill.
They kill
He's
Pluto.
Damn it.
They have to change their whole personality to be the
damn it.
Jupiter
Yeah.
sign. But I'll skim through this really quick and see what some of the things she said back. This was not a couple months ago. This was in July. So this is actually no, it was a couple months ago.
Yeah.
Damn,
months ago.
that's crazy. All right.
I have something to say.
Very
about
good
it
at
somewhere.
communication, which is pretty funny. Let's see what else.
Not true at all.
When people get to know you, they see my more sensitive side, and
Leo cries all the time.
yeah. And how much
Just
attention
kidding.
I get could matter to me. but usually few people see it because I'm so good at putting a guard up.
That describes me. That's
Yeah,
crazy. Wow.
I'm not gonna lie, that sounds like me too.
What else?
What if we just said everything, like, no matter what they say, we're like, wow, that's me. So even if it's like not your sign at all.
Very contradicting. Two things that like contradict each other. Like
You're
immediately.
like,
just
oh
be
my
wow.
god, that's so me.
So me. You're definitely very funny.
That definitely boosted
I'll
your
take
ego.
I'll take that one and stick it in the pocket for a rainy day.
The next line literally just says, your ego has now been boosted 3 points because of that.
And can be very bold in what you say to make others laugh, which is very important to you, but you might not be very direct about how you feel all the time, and may sometimes be passive aggressive by trying to hint that you're mad, and don't really show that you're upset with people because you feel like it will only make things worse. That doesn't sound true, and I know that that's a bad thing, and I'm saying it's not true. But I feel like I can point out the things about me that are good and bad. I know I got some bad things in me, but I don't think being passive aggressive was one of them. Because I'm very open to
demons
communication.
inside.
Like you said. Yeah, my demons.
Fighting these demons every day.
I have a magnetic personality. A lot of people are cool with me. I'm good at creating a good environment. And if the vibes are off, I might be the one to start cracking jokes and fixing the vibe.
What happens if like your mom dies?
What?
Will you be
Yeah, how about
cracking
that airplane
jokes?
food?
Does that count as
I'll be fixing them.
vibes?
Don't worry. I'll be fixing the vibes for y'all. That's the new joke. Fixing the vibes.
Fixing the vibes.
Certified vibe fixer.
Nope, that's going into my Instagram bio right this instant.
Certified vibe fixer.
Right now. Right now. I'm doing it right now. Put it in pronouns. No, I didn't mean to do that.
Pronouns. Vibe/fixer. Wait, you can put whatever you want.
No, I don't think so.
No.
Certified vibe fixer. I just threw that in my Instagram bio. That's fucking
They do
awesome.
that so that you can't reuse the same joke of attack/helicopter.
Apache helicopter. Yeah,
I
fact.
probably would
That
have
one
that.
joke that everyone uses.
Yeah,
My
shout out
dad
to
makes a
H3.
joke about this video that we saw online once, and it was like Caesar salad, like.
Oh, yeah.
You know that video? It's like
Oh,
years old.
And it's like, and he goes on, he says like 17 different weird words.
Yeah.
Like
He's
my
like-
pronouns are Caesar salad and toaster or something. Like
Yeah,
that.
like all those.
Peak
We respect
comedy.
pronouns on this
Peak
podcast,
comedy.
though.
Yeah.
We respect them. We'll joke about them, but we respect them 1,000%.
I'm just kidding.
What other questions we got?
Let's see. I was just about to move on to the next set of questions.
What
next-
even was the question we just went off?
Selling your soul for money and fame.
Selling
And it
your
got to
soul.
the horse. No, I love that.
Yeah, that's pretty
Did
funny.
it? How?
I don't know.
We may never
We
know.
talked about like cars halfway through. That
Being a
too.
Virgo. That's all it's about,
Oh, yeah.
maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I was gonna talk about our the summer. How we were like, wow, that was like a few months ago.
Yeah.
I think my summer personally flew by because of, and it was ruined by Kanye's release schedule.
Oh, really? What?
Well, not ruined, but like it
Tarnished.
because he would
Tarnished.
at the beginning of the summer he was
Gone.
like, yeah,
Reduced to
I'm
atoms.
dropping. He's like 2 weeks, I'm dropping, and we're like, okay, and he's like 2 more weeks, I'm dropping, and we're like, okay.
Like, okay, Kanye.
And then 2 more weeks, I'm dropping, and we're like, okay. And then he finally does,
No.
and then the summer's over.
I have a
That's kinda
theory
true.
about that.
That's
If
the
you
last
like,
weekend of summer, really.
if you like have a set date in your mind and you're waiting for that,
Mhm.
like shit goes by way faster.
But I think that's definitely, I agree with that, but a lot of teachers say this too, like, that's not necessarily a good thing, because
No, it's not a
People
good
are-
thing. I'm
people
not
are-
saying that's a
people
good
are
thing.
always waiting on, like, a Friday. That's
Yeah,
what,
it-
like,
it
Miss
ruins-
Pepin said.
I'm not saying it's a good thing.
Makes,
I'm
if
just
you're
are always-
excited for Tuesdays.
Yeah, yeah.
It's you got to live in the moment, you know.
That's what I'm saying.
Be
like,
excited for like
it's
everything that happens.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's a good thing. I'm saying that's a bad thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it happens. Like,
Yeah.
No, I know.
Which is that's what I think happened for me over the summer. I was waiting for.
Yeah, you were waiting.
Not
yeah.
that my whole summer was defined by Kanye's release, but
Right.
it was always like 2 more weeks, 2 more
in the
weeks.
back of your
Like,
head.
oh, I'm excited for this 2
No,
more
that
weeks,
makes sense, definitely.
and then you're like, yeah, it's over, you know.
I'm a big Kanye fan
Tough.
too, but I don't know if I can say quite that.
Yeah, and like I said, it didn't define
know.
my summer.
I feel
It
like
didn't-
my summer went by so fast because of like work, just working.
Oh yeah, I worked.
And now that we're older, it's like,
yeah.
you know what I mean? Like
It's-
the days
that
go
is
by,
true.
work, come home, do nothing, go to sleep, and then like work, and then it's like
When we get out of high
so
school, we're
hard.
gonna blink and we're gonna be like 30.
Tough.
Well, I think like 12 years will have to pass first. But I think eventually, yes, we
What?
will be 30.
12 years will pass.
We will blink at some point, and then we will eventually be 30. So
Yeah.
I guess you're still correct.
That's true.
All right, next question. We gotta move on from this selling your soul thing.
Yeah.
Question from Courtney: what happens after we die?
I don't like that question
Why not?
because it makes me think, and I hate
This
that. I hate when I
is
think about that
This
stuff.
is Epicurus, a famous philosopher, Greek
Mhm.
philosopher. He thought about this a lot. I'm gonna go and say my thoughts, and this may not be true, but his thoughts, I
Okay,
guess.
well, let's just say none of this is probably true.
Well, yeah.
Well, maybe not probably.
And it's-
depending on whether you're religious, not religious. this and
Yeah,
that.
that's what I'm saying. Like, religion is a way for us to describe things we don't know, and that's really, really good.
Agreed.
Like, because obviously we humans were afraid of what we don't know, and like if we any way we can possibly have to describe it is comforting, and that's great.
True.
Yeah. Epicurus says that and I think this, back to living in the moment, this really helps to like make the most of your life.
Mhm.
Imagine what it was like before you were born.
Mhm.
Maybe not personally, but you got through trillions of years of time in an instant, and then you were alive. Like,
Mhm.
everything happened, and you didn't know it. And I think it's the same thing when you're gone. Like, it'll be it kind of like when you're sleeping too. It's where it's like hours pass in an instant, and it'll be like you're not conscious. You can't think. It's just like that's it till like the end of like it's just it's hard to describe. But the best way to describe it, I think, is like it's the same as like what it was before you were born. Just like time is passing and you don't know it, and it feels like an instant, and then but which is why like living in the moment is so important. We have such limited time here on the planet. We have to make the most of everything, because this time we have is the most certain. We don't actually know what is before or after, but we gotta
It's very true.
make the most of what we have.
I feel like whatever I say after that is pretty invalid.
Yeah.
No, but I don't like I said, I don't know what is true and what isn't. Like,
Right.
we don't know, and which like other explanations are equally as good, because it offers a like that's what I think happens. But I would also love to believe like you go creative mode, where like you're just like a person who can fly around the world. You can go wherever you want.
That'd be
You can,
so fucking
like
cool.
a ghost kind of thing. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
I would love that.
People, like, there are real sightings of, like,
Ghosts.
some crazy stuff when it comes to ghosts.
y'all believe in ghosts?
I believe in carbon monoxide poisoning. 'Cause-
What? I guess I also believe in that, but that doesn't really
I guess,
answer our question.
yeah,
Have you-
sure. I'm not gonna
There's like
discredit carbon monoxide.
there's a whole thing where like it turns out all these
Debunking
houses.
Debunking carbon monoxide poisoning.
Debunking. It's fake. It's a sham. It never existed.
It's a way for the manufacturing companies to make you buy an extra
Another-
smoke detector.
Sell those stupid smoke detectors.
They started losing money because no one replaced their damn smoke detectors once a month, because that apparently needs to happen. So they decided to throw in a
JT's
second
trash and smoke detectors. The companies are gonna listen to this and light your house on fire, and you're gonna die in a mysterious
Sorry, there are no
fire.
smoke detector companies in Laos.
Yeah, no, yeah. Smoke detectors don't exist in Laos.
Okay.
They
what
just
was
stick the chicken out the window and everyone runs. What? I don't know. I just thought it was funny because it's a third world country.
Oh my god.
Now we definitely aren't famous in Laos anymore. Shout out all my
They hate you
Laosians.
now. They have posters.
They love you too, but it's
They
just
have posters
propaganda
of our
against
thumbnail, and they're just like Xing your face out
Face
right
out.
now. Putting a
Okay.
hex on you or
Back to
something.
carbon monoxide.
it. Yeah, let's get back to this.
There
And then we need
is
to get
an
back to
explanation
life after death.
to a lot of the like old haunted house stories, where people go into an old haunted house and they're like, this place is haunted. They see ghosts, they see stuff. What really it's an old house that has carbon monoxide leaks. Like is leaking
Yeah, but don't you
gas that
How?
causes
How,
people to
though?
hallucinate.
How?
Wouldn't you
Because it's
die,
an old
though?
house in the whatever. I don't know if it's in pipes or it's in the air or like whatever. But like
Oh, like not like a really. I thought you meant
Because-
like an old enough house to like not have any.
no,
of that
like the
stuff.
houses that are just made badly, like the
Right.
old like the houses that the same houses that would have lead paint in the
Oh, yeah,
windows and
sure.
stuff.
Right.
Like it's
Yeah, that's
like
what I meant, too.
it's hallucinations because of carbon monoxide leaks, and that's a big explanation for most of the haunted house stories you'll hear. That is my ghost
I
explanation.
think like haunted houses, like marquee, like oh this house is haunted, come spend a night. I think that's all bullshit. But I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
ghosts
Yeah,
are real.
definitely.
I think
They
that's
have to be,
all
right?
Tourists, like traps
Yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff.
I agree.
Like haunted, like Salem. Well, actually, no, that's a bad example because that's like witches actually did happen and stuff. But like,
Right.
you know what I'm trying.
witches.
No, I know what you
wait, like the accusation of witches.
Yes, that's what
happened.
I meant. And
Witches are real.
no, yeah, not saying they actually threw fireballs or anything because they're probably just like. Probably just like braided someone's hair and witch.
Burn him! Burn him!
Yeah.
I don't know. I think ghosts are
I
cool
think
as
ghosts
hell.
gotta be real.
I think there's gotta be some sort of spirits out there.
There's too many like similar stories from
everywhere.
totally different. It's like the Pangea thing, you have like the fossils over here and here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
So
and like
it's got- it
and like
had
when you
to
push
be a
the
thing.
continents together, it's just one big
So
piece
it's
of
like
land.
you have a
Yeah.
ghost story here and a ghost story way over here that are so similar that it's
It's
like no way.
do you guys do ghost stories from other countries or other like continents like sound more believable than ones from North America? Because like I'll hear something about like a ghost story from like Germany or a ghost story from like Argentina, and it's like
be real.
it's like that sounds more real than it does if I were to hear one from like Wisconsin or something. You know what I mean?
the cheese ghost.
The cheese ghost.
Oh my god.
Instead of saying boo, it says goo. Duh. Like Gouda cheese. So, oh yeah, that's how bad the joke was. You didn't even get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, sorry. Can I say it again? Instead of saying boo, the ghost goes blue,
Okay.
like blue cheese.
Yes, I get that
Okay.
one.
Okay.
Wow.
Sorry, everyone.
Sorry, everyone. We're
Can I do a public statement?
yeah. What's your PSA?
To all the listeners of the Southwell podcast, I have to apologize for my behaviors and my actions on this show today. I understand that we live in a world where mistakes are
Where
very
cheese
important
jokes
for
are
the
not funny.
future
People don't know
of
what Gouda cheese
our
is.
careers, and
We live in a world where cheese jokes are not funny.
We live in a society.
we live in a society where I don't know. I was trying to make another cheese joke. I'm not even gonna lie.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
You know, and I just want to come on here and I just want to say, no matter what you think about what I said or what I've done today, whether or not you liked it or disliked it, that's not your joke.
Jesus Christ.
God damn it.
All right, keep
Okay.
going. All right, let's get back to the
God.
ghosts.
What about like other like folk tales from other like
Oh god.
like the chupacabra or like I'm trying to think of other ones like Bigfoot,
Bigfoot.
like shit like that.
I don't want to diss my boy.
Like
my
the
homie Mark,
Loch Ness monster.
my homie Mark.
Yeah, like the Loch Ness
Yeah.
monster.
I don't want to
dude.
diss my boy Mark Kenny, because he loves Bigfoot.
Oh, he does?
He thinks it's
I didn't know
very
that.
real.
I've seen
I have
Bigfoot
to.
before.
I have to say I don't believe in Bigfoot.
I don't either. I believe in blurry pictures.
I believe.
I
in,
think
I
all
believe in the Loch Ness monster just because it's more believable.
That's the
we've
one
really
I don't
discovered.
believe in the most
we've-
because it's literally in a specific area of water.
Oh, wait,
that's
what?
like
It's
Oh,
in
it's
a
only-
lake.
it's in a lake.
Oh, one specific lake.
How the
Yeah.
hell
Only
would they
one
not
specific
find them?
Oh, now I don't believe it. Now I don't
Loch
believe
Ness
it.
monster's stupid.
I thought it was just like water.
I know where you're going with that though, like
Yeah, yeah.
shit in the water.
We only.
The ocean's
Yeah.
No,
terrifying.
yeah, the
dude.
ocean is scary.
The
So
ocean is
fucking
so
weird, dude.
scary. Like Atlantis is probably real, or like something like
Or
it.
has been real
Or
in the
it-
past.
yeah, or like it
that
was
makes
just
more
a-
sense.
Like maybe 1,000 years in the future, people are gonna be like,
Atlantis.
No,
and it's
they're
just
gonna be like-
Los Angeles.
they're gonna be like Florida. They're gonna be like, oh my god, have you heard?
Disney World.
Have you heard the legend of Florida? And it's just,
Have you heard the legend of
What
New
is this
Orleans?
mouse statue?
And it's just like
The
it's
Legend
just
of
like
New
because of like
Orleans.
rising seas and
That's
stuff.
in, like,
It's just
10
like
10 years.
Florida's like underwater, and they're like,
10 years.
like
Yeah.
Florida.
10 years,
The
kids nowadays,
legend.
we're gonna be like, you ever hear about Nola? The Legend of Nola.
Oh my god!
I,
Like the
No,
Disney in 1,000 years is gonna make like instead of Atlantis, they're gonna make like Florida.
They're digging up fossils of freaking Pluto and Mickey. What is this dog?
Well,
Why
these
does he
fossils
worship a
match up-
mouse?
wait, these fossils from Florida match up with these fossils from Japan, and these ones from
Japan,
California.
in France and
In
California.
Why
What
were
does
they?
this mean?
Why were they worshiping animals?
Who is this mouse and why is he so important?
Can you imagine millions of
Yeah,
years
maybe
from now?
that's
Too
like
funny.
maybe that's like deities and statues we've seen now are just like big like companies from the past.
Oh my god.
Like Buddha was just like
Well,
Fa-
no,
the first
Buddha,
the first fast food.
Buddha still is like now, and like the like religions maybe not because they're like, but like
Oh,
ancient
like
stuff.
what's
Like
the
Egyptian.
the cat
Like-
statue.
Like the Egyptian
Shut
gods.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah,
what,
like the
why
Sphinx.
can't it-
Like the Sphinx.
The
Maybe that
Sphinx.
was just like the Egyptian McDonald's.
Yeah, and the pyramid was just like a big like attraction. They all
It was
like
the play
they
place.
sled down the damn.
The
The
McDonald's.
Sphinx was the McDonald's.
The
and
Egyptians
pyramids
were like
the play
the
place.
Egyptians were like, bro, I miss the classic McDonald's play pace.
They
play
built a
space."
small one and they're like, we need to go big on the next one. They built a giant one.
Yeah,
the built-in
there's a
McDonald's
whole
drive-thru
chunk. There's a
inside.
whole chunk of the pyramids that we haven't seen, and that's just like a slide and like a ball pit.
That's
shitty
true.
ball
Like
pit, there's,
you
like, six
always get
balls
the
in there.
picture from that one side. Like,
Yeah.
I-
What's the other side?
Where's the other? It's flat on the back. It's like Minecraft, like when they
The
build like the
chunks.
giant stuff,
The
and,
chunk.
and there's just no back to it.
Oh my god.
It's
Unrendered
hollow.
chunks.
It's
like there's like a
soundstage.
wall.
Yeah.
Oh my god. That's
Classic.
Awesome.
Classic.
Oh, I said it. I said that's awesome.
That's awesome.
That's
I
awesome.
said the thing.
Okay,
awesome.
should we go back to what you
Oh,
think
yeah,
is
can I get
after
back to,
death?
yeah. I'm gonna be a mediator on this one after Hugo saying that you just kind of like sleep for the rest of your life. I'm gonna be a somewhat religious man, and I'm gonna say there's some sort of heaven up after.
No,
life.
agree.
yeah, I think that's a great thing.
I
yeah.
think I'm not sure if it's entering the golden gates and
Mhm.
asking for whatever you want and receiving it, but I think it's some sort of, even if it's just like what Hugo said, but there's a brief moment beforehand that allows you to feel some sort of blissful feeling
yeah.
of the afterlife, where you can be that kind of in an instant blink of an eye in
Mhm.
that type of environment, but you can feel
But at least
satisfied
feel happy
or
yeah,
blissful
yeah,
about
yeah.
what you've done with
Like
your
a
life
dream
and
state.
how you felt.
Yeah.
Like a dream state. Then I think I would consider
That's
that
a
heaven,
good, yeah,
a sort of heaven.
yeah,
And I
that's
think
good.
that is something that I could see myself looking forward to.
Another like great benefit of
well, not
That's
looking
a
forward.
very weird statement.
What is?
You were looking forward to
I
dying.
didn't mean looking forward to.
Are you
I
okay?
meant something that I wouldn't like when the time
You wouldn't be
comes.
upset about?
When the time comes, I wouldn't be fighting. Like I
Yeah,
I
yeah.
could accept it.
it's all
What it
like
is.
the concept of heaven too is also really good. Like
It's a good motivator.
yeah, like
Mhm.
like you want to be the best person you can be, and like say like you will get rewarded when you're finished.
Mm.
So like yeah, something like that. Like be the best you can,
Yeah.
and then you'll eventually be happy.
Yeah.
Hopefully you'll be happy
yeah,
in life
I like
too.
the,
but
the
like
idea behind it. It's like a good.
yeah,
I like that too.
yeah.
JT, do you have any
It's like
different
Santa.
opinions?
What are you thinking, boy?
It's like Santa.
Yeah.
No, I don't really have any different opinions.
Yeah.
What
I
about
agree
reincarnation?
more with Leo's vision.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
there is something after. Maybe not the whole notion of hell. I think is more of a scare.
Definitely.
I think
thing-
it was
It's-
a scare.
'Cause
I think
I-
none
like,
knows what shit were.
Even judging by like God and stuff, like if you go off like the Bible, I'm not like a super religious person, but
Mhm.
I feel like he wouldn't like, or God would not create a place to like
Yeah.
destroy people essentially.
It seems like a
Yeah.
very. It's definitely a way to like say,
Push you
oh,
to
if
be
you don't
better.
believe what I believe, yeah, push you to be better, but also like, oh, if you don't believe what I believe, you're going to this place that I believe is.
Yeah.
Like it's like.
Yeah, no, I get that.
I think there is just like one place
Yeah, and, you know, they always say God is forgiving, so it's like.
And I feel like it's not the same for everyone. Like, it's not like we
Yeah.
go and like everyone jokes
Right, like, it's
oh,
not
I'm
like a
gonna,
location. That,
I'm
like,
gonna go
everyone
and
goes
hang out
to.
with Kobe Bryant in heaven.
Right,
Like,
exactly,
no,
right.
Like, I think it's more of a personal.
Yeah, and for the viewers listening who maybe not be religious or don't believe in a heaven or hell or anything after the afterlife, we respect your opinions.
And I think
because there's no proof that any of this is actually
another
real.
like non-religious like explanation is like reincarnation, which I like.
Oh
to,
yeah, I it's like I want to believe in reincarnation, but I believe in a little.
But like I guess there's no way to, but like
I can't because
we could be reincarnated, but
Yeah,
we don't.
100%.
because I don't remember like.
Yeah.
I feel like you'd remember bits and like pieces, like you get like flashbacks.
Well, that's what they say, like deja vu is and stuff like that.
I don't think my past self ever sat in a Plymouth South High School
classroom.
No, I know, but like
know exactly
you know,
what he's talking.
Yeah.
it's like specific.
What
things.
like some people think you can be reincarnated in the
thought-
past. Like they'll be like, "Oh, I want to be reincarnated like in the 50s or something." I
Oh,
don't
that's
know.
What?
That's a weird.
That doesn't
That's
Well,
actually-
that's impossible.
Yeah, I know.
That's impossible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That like
I
doesn't
thought
make
deja
sense.
vu was the connection between you and another, like the parallel universe theory, where like you
Yeah,
and
I
your.
mean-
Dude, I don't know.
I kind of like that one too, but I know it happened all the time because the parallel universe thing happened like the many worlds theory, which I have a funny story about. Like there are so many worlds technically where we are sitting here doing this podcast right now, talking about the same exact things.
Yeah.
And then for
Except-
the last 10 minutes we just talk about something different.
Yeah, or like we're doing all the there's
Or like you sneeze right now.
Yeah.
Like billions
Or
and
like you're
billions
wearing
of
a
worlds
pink
every
shirt.
second.
or instead of that
Sign.
or that sign is something else
purple
or that
something instead of
these
green.
these two posters are switched or the Pikachu is really where the
Charmander.
Charizard is and the even these two
Oh,
water
it's-
bottles
it's-
which we
that's
can't even
Charmander.
the two water bottles which we can't even tell apart, those are switched. You
Right.
drank from one instead of the other.
There's
Exactly.
one singular drop.
And the
in
thing is like that one difference
Creates
is the
new
only
world.
difference in the entire
Yes.
universe. So like everything else
That's so yeah.
everything else in that universe, like all of history, all of time, every
It's
single bit of, was exactly the same except for the fact that you maybe unscrewed your water bottle like a inch too much, and that's it. Like, can you
Yeah.
imagine we're in a reality where like our entire purpose is to be different because your poster is orange instead of red?
Right. That's what I mean. And so it's like
that's a whack.
It's
and
crazy.
So it's like what were we even talking about for the many worlds theory? Deja vu. And
Deja
so I
vu.
just feel like I want to agree with that because it's
It'd
cool.
be so-
It's cool, but
Well-
it would just be all the time. I feel
Well,
like.
but maybe that's why like you don't get it all the time, because when there is like not a major difference,
But something.
but
No, I know what you mean.
Mm.
I get what you
maybe it's when that universe was supposed to break, but
Yeah.
it didn't, and it just it's still aligned with yours or whatever.
mean. Ooh.
I don't know.
So
Yeah,
you
maybe.
so you tap in.
I like that because, like what you were saying before, it's like I thought you meant like when you're doing the same thing as one of your other worlds.
No, because then
And it's like because then that's all the time. 'Cause it will be happening. But I do feel like there's some other way that you could like word it or configure
Yeah,
it to
that's
make
what I'm
it make
trying
more
to-
sense.
yeah.
And I do. Because the many worlds theory, there isn't obviously somewhere out there trillions and trillions of Earths doing like different
Yeah.
things. It's all just like it's a theory. It's
Yeah,
something
yeah.
that is you could make happen in your mind and is true. And I do get that.
Yeah.
I like that. But
Yeah.
I have a funny story about the many worlds theory. In 8th grade, my travel basketball team,
Yeah.
we were at a tournament and we were talking about like something. And I was like, "Yo, you guys ever hear the many worlds theory? Like, it's crazy." And they're like, "No." And I was like, "So it's basically this theory about like there's a different metaphorical world for every like decision that you make and
Mhm.
everything that you
Yeah.
do, and every world is different, and you are basically creating the world of which you live in by every single little thing
Yeah,
that you
yeah.
do." And I was like, so if you wake up in the morning and you put on a red shirt instead of a black shirt, there's some other alternate universe where you
Mhm.
put on the black shirt. You know what I mean? And if you could choose between a granola bar or cereal for breakfast and you chose the granola bar, there's some other alternate universe where you chose
Yeah.
the cereal. and they were like, "You're so fucking stupid. That's obviously not true." That's what they said. They were like,
Really?
They were like, "What the hell? Like that is like no way,
Yeah.
no." And I was like, "What do you mean no? It's like a theory, like
Yeah,
Yeah.
what
a
I mean,
thing.
no, it's not like I just made this up.
dude, like right, exactly. It's like you're not like yeah."
That's what they
yeah.
told Einstein. He was like, "Yo, E equals MC squared,"
And
and,
they're
they
like,
go,
nah,
"No."
Fam, nah,
Fam,
because,
fam,
bruh,
respectfully, no.
fam.
Respectfully, no,
Shit,
man.
Simba's fam. But I don't know. I just think that's a funny
That
story.
is
'cause I think
hilarious.
it's fucking stupid.
No.
Was there a universe where you won that game?
Yeah, and it's the university we live in right now.
Oh, nice.
Baller.
Epic.
That season, I think I played about 12 minutes total
That's
in the whole
tough.
season. Actually, no, it's got to be a little more than that. It's probably just about 20 in the whole season, though. But I will tell you, I was the 13th man
you
on
just-
the team.
Leo, you
13.
just set a timer for 12 minutes on my phone.
How? What did I say?
You said
12 minutes?
Yeah.
Oh. I played like 20 minutes that whole season. I was the 13th man off the bench. But I
Yeah.
will tell you, that was my most favorite season of basketball
That
I've ever
is
played
hilarious.
in my life. Because it was so damn fun. Oh my god, I love that season. That was fun times. All right, time to move
Alright.
on to possibly our final question.
final question.
Let me see if we got any other like little quick ones, and then we can get to like kind of the last thing. So I guess just one of the little quick question was, I can't believe someone said this because I've been this seems like it's fake, but is Baby Keem top 10 rapper? In my opinion, he is. And so let's talk about Baby Keem.
I've never
I
listened to
haven't
Baby
listened to
Keem.
enough stuff.
Are you
So
serious?
you just talk. I've never heard his stuff once.
Okay, so I guess I'll just answer this question, Riley. Right now, I think Baby Keem is a top 10 rapper right now. Obviously not ever. I don't think Baby Keem is a top 10 rapper ever. I think he's great, though. You guys gotta listen to The Melodic Blue. It's the album that he put out a couple weeks ago.
Mhm. Oh yeah,
like
yeah.
about a month
Is that
ago.
where he's like sitting on a dock?
Yeah.
I heard that was great.
I think it's like rap album of the year. Like I
That's
think it's
good,
great. I think
really.
it's better than Donda.
Huh.
I really like it. So, got a lot of great songs, and having Kendrick feature on 3 of your songs is like never a bad thing, because they're cousins. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So it's like
Yeah.
I love Baby Keem, and you guys really gotta listen to that.
Check it out.
He's pretty great. All right.
Check me out. Show me
Final
out.
question. We
Let's
talked
go.
about it a little bit earlier. This is gonna be one that we've talked about. We've talked about a lot, but never really gotten into the details. Logan Graham says favorite movie of all time, and I would like to open that to possibly top 3 or top 5 favorite movies of all
Okay.
time. And I think we could just go one person says their 5, explains it. We just talk about it, and then we move on to the next person.
3. I have to think though.
I can do my top 5 pretty much right now.
I have, but
I have my top 5.
do it.
I don't think that one is in my top 5 actually
Shit, man.
anymore.
Square.
Okay. I haven't used Letterboxd, but I'm gonna.
Letterboxd
You
is a
look at it
great
for-
app that you can use to track the movies
Follow us.
that you watch over time and rate them and compare them to other movies, and you can also follow people and see what they give movies for score.
The thing is, my list changes. It's such a fluid thing
Right.
that in a month from now, when I listen back on this, I'm gonna be so upset at the 5 movies. I would say
Yeah.
That makes sense.
there's like 2 that would never leave the list,
Yeah.
but
I hate that I might have 3 Quentin Tarantino movies in my top 5, but I think I like have to do it just because it's like it's just
Yeah.
kind of true. All right. Do you guys want me to go first?
yeah, because
Sure.
I don't really have mine.
Okay, I'll start at number 5. My number 5 movie is Django Unchained by Quentin Tarantino. And this movie is so good. I think the acting is great. I think the way Quentin Tarantino works in a spaghetti western turned with a love story is very interesting.
Yeah.
And I think he does his thing very well. Jamie Foxx is like awesome for no reason. Christopher Waltz, who I think is one of the best actors like I've ever seen.
Great.
Mhm. Yeah.
Does a like awesome job.
He's
Leonardo
He's like my
DiCaprio is
favorite
great.
actor. Christoph Waltz.
Yeah, Christoph Waltz has got to be one of my favorites, even though I've only seen him in just like a couple movies.
Mhm.
But I know that he's like amazing. He's gonna be in The French Dispatch.
actually.
that?
He is?
Yeah,
That
No
inclines
way.
me to watch that even more.
That's what I just.
Oh
I just,
yeah, get me in that theater,
I just
baby.
clicked on his profile and I just saw it pop up. I'm sure he probably doesn't have a lot of lines considering how many famous people are in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty low on the list, but he's
Okay.
definitely in there somewhere. All right, now my number 4 favorite movie. I am going to say Inglourious Bastards.
Mhm.
Another Quentin Tarantino movie. This movie is so sick for no reason.
It is. It's so good.
Like the dialogue in this movie is crazy good.
Mhm.
The everything is just insane
It's
about
just
this
bussin'.
movie. The characters are great. The story is great. The ending is very satisfying. Whatever. Okay, number 3. Finally, not a Quentin Tarantino movie. I have to say Shawshank Redemption.
Mhm.
I think this movie's so good,
Goated.
and it's like the way that they tell the story is so amazing and different from like anything else I've ever seen. I think like the idea of everything being in one place
Yeah.
and the narrative that takes like years and years to build is so good. I think the ending is like amazing. One of the best endings to a movie I've ever seen, respectfully.
Spit.
It is good.
I just think the way that it's like told, the way the story is told is amazing. Number 2, another Quentin Tarantino movie, Pulp Fiction. This was my favorite movie for such a long time, and it's weird because this is one of those movies where I know that it's one of my favorite movies, but it's hard to explain to you
Pulp
why
Fiction?
it is. Yes,
We all get it.
it's like hard. To
I don't. I've
explain
never
why.
watched it.
Oh, that's tough.
Because I
It's
have a personal vendetta against that movie.
Really?
why?
Because I just like, it's one of those things you always see, and like it's always like, this movie's so good, watch this movie, that it makes you not want to watch it.
Maybe. Yeah, I get
Which
that.
I know I should eventually watch it, and I did try one time, and I just couldn't. It's one of the only movies I've ever watched where I'm like, I can't finish this movie. I don't know why. Maybe if I watch it now,
Interesting.
this was years ago, so maybe if I watch it
Do you
now,
know the
Yeah.
whole bit, like how it's like done out of order and stuff?
Yes, no, I know,
okay,
I know
okay.
that.
Yeah,
I know
think,
that
I
now.
think that is what makes it so genius.
Interesting.
Like
yeah.
I love that for that reason.
So I probably should rewatch it eventually soon. But
And I think the acting in it is great, and I think like the dialogue is obviously awesome because it's Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah.
So good at like having conversation.
No,
And
definitely.
then my number 1 movie is it's a doozy. Everyone knows it.
Drum noises.
My number 1 movie is Whiplash. I love this movie so much. I have just recently seen it a little less than a month ago. And when I first watched, I can't even explain how I was feeling after I watched that movie. It was the most I don't even know how to say it. It's the most passion I've ever felt. The most feeling
Really?
I've ever felt from any piece of media I'd ever consumed in
Wow.
my life.
Jeez.
And the acting is great, and the idea behind the perfectionism
Yeah,
of
yeah.
a craft and obsessing over something and wanting to be great is so good, and they do it so well, and J.K. Simmons is so fucking good at acting. Oh my god, it's just
That
such
is-
a good movie.
yeah.
It made me want to find something that take something I love and just do it all the time. And I seriously think that watching that movie will help me for the foreseeable future in anything that I have a passion for in my life.
That's cool.
And I think it's just a great
We should probably watch it, JT.
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, I'll go into
I was
mine.
going to last night.
Were you?
Yeah, but then
Then we got home at midnight.
yeah.
I'm gonna go into mine right here. So this is my top 5. Number 5 is Knives Out.
Very high on my
Fantastic
watch
movie.
list.
It's
Very high.
Oh,
incredible.
you've never seen it?
One of
No.
my it really
Best mystery
just
movie, I
one of the
think,
best mystery
I've
movies
ever
I've seen.
watched.
It's so good. Every little bit of every little
Just
detail is important, and you're looking at everything, and then when everything comes together, it's you're like, wow, that's crazy. And then you watch it again and you're like, wow, that's crazy. And then you watch it again, you're like, wow, that's crazy.
Right.
You get it more and more
I
when you
love-
watch
I
it. You
love
see
movies
how
like
everything
that.
comes together. And plus an incredible cast, and just Daniel Craig, and
I know that the cast is pretty awesome.
everyone just did great. It's great. Next is Return of the Jedi. I had to
Mm,
put a Star Wars movie because, like, I think Return of the Jedi is the best because it's really the culmination of everything on. Like, it's just like the finale, you know. It's the
Right.
ending of the
best trilogy.
of the trilogy, and
greatest
also, but
trilogy
with
of
the
all
prequels too, like, with you get it though, JT. It's the journey that Vader takes and that Luke takes, and the arc of the Force basically that just comes together in the end. And even
Right.
though you may not like,
Well, I think alone as a finale to the trilogy, it's good enough.
yeah,
I-
definitely. No. It's great as a finale to the trilogy, and then also when you add the prequels to it, which I know, I agree, the prequels aren't the strongest things in the whole Johnson, but they they significantly add to the thing even more than the trilogy does, than the original one, and so that's why I love it. Number 3 is The Dark Knight.
Yep.
I love Batman. An incredible movie. Every scene is important. Every scene adds to the intensity, to the story, to the plot. I really like Christian Bale's Batman. I don't like his voice that much, but I like his I don't like his, like, whatever he does. I don't know. I love Heath Ledger. Just that one scene in the like your first introduction to him in the bank is
It's
like
so sick.
like he should win the Oscar just for that.
One of the best openings.
Or then the
scenes
scene
I've
where he
ever
puts the guy's head through the pencil.
seen. Yeah.
that,
yeah,
like,
that scene's so fun.
that
So, like, what are
he-
you, a magician or something?
Yeah, and like, just his acting is incredible. The whole thing of it's like a post 9/11 film too, so it's like, how far do we go in, like, surveillance, and how far do we go in,
Yeah.
like, when are we, like,
I never even thought
the
about
point
it like
where-
that, which is that's super interesting.
yeah, oh, it's so, like, it
Right.
if you watch it again with 9/11 in mind and, like, our
It's
reaction to it
definitely-
is so, like, it lines up totally with
I
that.
haven't
It's
seen that
so
movie in
good.
years though.
Number 2 is Rango. This may sound
so
crazy.
much respect.
This movie,
So
No,
much
that's
respect
no
for that.
nothing crazy.
I love-
I when I watched
so
it,
good.
I really
That's the
liked it.
best
I
Western
love
movie
the
ever.
Western genre. This is a great homage to that.
Best Western movie ever.
And it's also just like for me personally, the idea of, like, who are you really? Like, who, like it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter. Like, you don't have to know everything about yourself, but as long as you know, like, what you stand for, and like as long as you believe that you're here to, like, help people, and as long as you're understanding that, like, that's what's important. It doesn't matter, like, you don't have to know who you are. You don't have to know everything about yourself. You just have to know what you stand for.
The thing,
Yeah.
Which is what I love.
the thing I love about that movie too is that it took, like, two arguably dying movie, like,
genres at the time.
2? What was the other one?
animation.
Animation.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And it made the greatest, like,
It made an incredible
my
movie.
favorite animated movie of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love
It made
it.
a great animated movie, a
A
great
Western,
Western movie.
with a
Yeah,
freaking complex storyline with the whole
Mhm.
identity thing.
yeah,
And
Super cool. And
It's great.
some really fun scenes too.
yeah.
Like
The chase in the canyon?
Yes.
Yes,
I mean,
Holy
that's
shit.
awesome.
No,
It's one of
the
great-
final
I got
duel.
goosebumps just thinking about Rango right
I go
now.
back and I watch the last 20 minutes, like, so often.
Yeah,
Just
I
the
didn't
final
expect
duel
you
when
one
he's
way to another.
when he discovers the water, he talks to Clint Eastwood, and then he talks
yeah,
to
the
Clint
Clint
Eastwood,
Eastwood
I love
discovers
that.
the
vision.
water. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
so
Yeah.
And then he
so
goes
cool.
back and you hear the final duel battle, which is a reference to an old
yeah.
Western movie called The Man with a Harmonica,
Mm.
which was also referenced in Third Pirates of the Caribbean movie when they're lined up on the beach.
Yeah, with the
Um,
three.
Yeah. Both composed by Hans Zimmer. He used, like, the same song.
Oh, that's
Goat.
cool.
It's cool.
He
It's
is the
very
goat.
similar.
Hans Zimmer has to be the goat, right?
He is. Yeah. Oh, definitely.
You can't say.
100%.
You can't
I
say
saw
another
something
name.
that said the difference between Hans Zimmer and John Williams. John Williams can
John-
paint the
yeah.
picture so well. He can
Yeah.
describe a scene for you,
Yeah.
like,
But the
incredibly.
emotion.
But Hans Zimmer has the emotion to
Yeah.
stuff, which is, I think, is very true.
Very important.
And then number 1 for me is a movie called The Secret Life of Walter Mitty, with Ben Stiller, directed by Ben Stiller.
Oh, it was directed by him too.
It's I don't know. Have you seen it? Have you?
I've only seen pieces of it.
Okay. Not a lot of people like. It's pretty underground. No, I'm kidding. But it's
You clown.
not a lot of people have heard about it. I don't think. But it's and it wasn't very well received. I don't think it got a lot of great reviews and stuff. Like it's not. Definitely not considered like one of the best, but I love it, and it's all about stepping out of your comfort zone and doing things that you aren't comfortable with, and just like taking risks in your life. It's about this guy who spends his whole life daydreaming and coming up with crazy scenarios, and then he ends up having to like travel the world and like go on crazy adventures in real life, and he does stuff that are crazier than his daydreams in real life, just because he stepped out of his comfort zone and just because he took risks. And that's what I love about it. It's all about, and it goes to amazing locations. Like he goes to Iceland, and he goes to like the mountains of like Nepal, and like just it like inspires you to like want to travel and like see these places and like experience them and like step out of your comfort zone. It's, oh my God, it's so good.
I love that.
It's great.
That's sick. I have to see it too. JT,
Okay.
let's hear what you got.
This is one of the hardest things for me. So I'm gonna say a few movies that I had to leave out, but I'm just gonna say them. Infinity War, honorable mention. Shutter Island, almost took the 5th spot, and like The Godfather, I had to leave out on my list. There's a lot of movies, but number 5 on my list is a movie that I think, all these movies on my list, by the way, I think are the perfect examples of perfect films. Like, so number 5 is Raiders of the Lost Ark. I think this movie, it's just like that sense of adventure you get like from just like watching it, and it's the first movie in that trilogy, but you could watch it and have that feeling like you know that world already. Like you know the Indiana Jones world. It feels, a big thing about that I like in movies is the world building. I like
love world building.
World building, and I like when worlds feel lived in.
Yeah.
Like I don't like when they're polished and clean and they're nice. I like when they're dirty.
Definitely.
They got backstory, and I think that movie visually fantastic. Obviously, effects back then are just superior. One of the best opening scenes ever. Probably one of the most iconic opening scenes.
Is that with the ball?
The boulder, yeah. Even before that happens, it's still great. Harrison Ford, fantastic in that movie.
Yeah.
It's just a great premise, and all around just a fantastic movie. If you've never seen it, go watch that movie.
Yeah.
I have seen
my 4th favorite is kind of a normie answer, but Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah.
But that movie, just Leonardo DiCaprio.
He's just so damn
is
good.
my favorite actor of all time, and just like you don't even realize he's acting. It's one of those movies you don't even.
Yeah.
Like,
That's so true.
He's a person. Like that's a real person that he's playing, and the arc that movie takes, and just like I love movies like that are based on real stories. Like
yeah.
And you understand the critique of it too, right? Hopefully.
What do you mean?
Like that everyone thinks it's so cool, but like the whole point
yes,
of it
that's
is
what I mean.
life
Yes,
like that.
that's what I was about to get to. Okay.
Yeah.
That you're viewing this man who's so like textbook like just an asshole.
Yeah.
But you want that so bad.
Yeah,
You want that life where he's just doing quaaludes every 5 minutes and he does hookers in his office. And, like, it's awful. He does awful shit. He's taking money from people, literally telling them lies to get money. But it's like, you for some reason want, like, to be him.
Have you heard what Leonardo DiCaprio has said about... he's talked about Django Unchained, The Great Gatsby, and Wolf of Wall Street, 3 movies which he was in, as, like, he calls it his trilogy of, like, American wealth.
Wait, say it again.
Oh,
Django
that's
Unchained,
good.
Great Gatsby, and
that's fucking
and
awesome.
how it's like wealth in America, you really get it. It like you it's hard to be successful without taking advantage of people.
That's
true.
True.
So true.
Candy did it through slavery. Gatsby did it through like crime. Is that how he did? Yeah.
Yeah.
He did it through like.
Through the prohibition.
Yeah.
Making out. What's
and
that
then
called? Whatever.
Belford did it through
Penny
what the hell?
stocks.
Yeah, stock shit.
Penny stocks. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's really cool how
Yeah.
he's a great actor and how he
Yeah, he
made
is.
those connections and stuff.
Yeah, and Scorsese is top 3
Mhm.
director. I think.
Yeah, I from what I've seen from
Everything
Scorsese,
he's
he's pretty
done.
awesome.
Yeah, he's great.
I could put every single one of his movies I've seen on honorable. They're all on my top like
Mm-hmm.
25, 30.
Yeah.
But number 3 on my list is Back to the Future.
Mm.
This movie
Great.
again, perfect.
So good.
Perfect movie.
I
don't-
love it.
There's no scene that feels unnecessary. That's another big thing in
Mhm.
when I'm judging movies is like if there's scenes that are just useless.
Right.
And rewatchability to me is a big thing too.
Yeah.
And I probably
That makes
Back
sense.
to the Future is probably the movie I've seen the most.
Yeah.
Probably seen it like 50 times.
And it has so
Damn.
many like setups and callbacks and
Yes, and
It's so
that's
good.
the thing. Like the beginning of the movie,
Mm-hmm.
when you first watch it, it's like, oh, this is a weird ass family, you
Yeah.
know. But when you
Right.
rewatch it,
You get it.
you understand like
No, that
why
makes
it's
sense.
set up like it is.
Mhm.
Right.
And Biff doing his whole thing,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then Marty's dad, and I love that. I could probably quote that movie like word for word, and it's just a fantastic movie. The time travel aspect's cool, and the good characters.
yeah.
Right.
Marty McFly is great, and but yeah, if you haven't seen that movie,
Which
Go watch
which
it.
I haven't.
Bro.
if you have seen it, you understand why.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
a fantastic.
That also makes sense.
Indubitably.
Number 2 and number 1 are more like 1A and 1B. Like it's hard to
Respect. I respect that.
Mm-hmm.
put one over it, but I'm putting 2 as Django Unchained.
Mm-hmm.
Just wonderful movie. We
It's
already
just so
went
damn-
over
it's
it
so damn
earlier,
good.
but it just the acting is great.
Yes.
The scenes are great. The pacing is great. Everything
The
about
ending
that
is
movie.
great.
The ending is the greatest. Is my favorite scene
One of the most badass
in
things of
cinematic
all
history.
time.
That's
Yeah.
my favorite
So
scene.
awesome.
The zoom shots, the classic Tarantino.
Oh my
Yes,
God,
yes.
so
Face
good.
zooms.
Yep.
Dude, I'm getting goosebumps. The when he goes to that guy's thing and they're hunting down the brothers,
Yeah.
Mm.
and he.
That part's so cool.
Oh yeah.
I like
yeah.
the way
Yeah.
you die, boy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my
Aw,
god.
dude.
It's
So
good.
dope.
It's so that everything about that movie is great.
It's so bad.
If you haven't seen it, it's on Netflix. Go and watch it. It's
And then watch it again.
and then watch it a second time because that's what I did. But just fantastic movie, and Tarantino obviously great.
Yeah.
The way he does movies is so different if you really think about
Yeah.
it.
Right.
But it's so good. Like the way he does it is great.
Yeah.
And then number 1 on my list is Star Wars: Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
That
And tell me
movie-
your reason. Like.
My reason is it shows the growth of Luke
Mm-hmm.
and Vader, but
Yep.
excluding the prequels,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it still shows so
Yeah, yeah,
much
yeah.
growth. And it shows the Emperor, like, okay, I think that's one of the best. Again, opening scenes are really important to me, too.
Mhm.
But when you have a guy who Darth Vader is afraid of,
Yeah.
you know this man has to be, like,
Yes.
evil. And then you see the Emperor and you're like, holy shit, this is just some old dude in a robe. Like, what's so scary? He doesn't need a lightsaber. He doesn't need
Yeah.
mobility of any sort. He doesn't need to do 17 flips. He's just a dude. He's an old man
Right.
in a robe
Yeah.
who's so powerful that all he does is sit in a chair and tell people what to do, and they
And
listen
people
to
are
him
That is
afraid of him.
because
so
they know
sick.
he's gonna just like
yeah.
like Darth Vader is afraid of this dude, and you just watched Darth Vader in the other 2 movies destroy people
Yeah.
and just be bad, choke dudes out for saying wrong shit in meetings,
Right.
Yeah.
and Darth Vader's afraid of this dude.
I know. It's crazy.
It's great. Luke, when he first comes into the Jabba's palace, and he chokes out the Gamorrean
Yeah.
guards, like you just see, like, holy shit,
Yeah.
like he doesn't care anymore. He's not like this little farm boy anymore. He's a man.
Mm-hmm.
The growth.
The growth is fantastic,
Yeah.
and I was gonna put the first Star Wars movie on this list instead, because I feel like you can only really have one on your top 5, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
respectfully, because Star Wars 1, that's perfect. that's a good movie in its own aspect.
It is. It's a good movie.
Yeah.
'cause
It's perfect.
the ending,
that's another perfect
the
film.
ending like has its own resolution to where you can watch that one movie like.
Oh,
They could've
definitely.
not-
And you don't
they
even
could've-
have.
They could have not made 8
There
other
was
ones.
no. There
and,
wasn't
like,
plans to make.
right. That's
any more.
Because when it came out, it was just called Star
It
Wars.
was just
Yeah.
gonna be that one, and they were never gonna make. Even like Luke and Leia were not siblings until the third one.
Mm-hmm.
right.
Darth Vader, the dad thing wasn't a thing when they made the first one.
Right. And it's just
Um,
it's so cool. Like it's a complete movie.
No,
And it's pretty great.
When you get to Return of the Jedi 2, the world building has been done so well in the first 2 movies,
yeah.
Yeah.
and it feels so lived in. You get to Jabba's palace is like the greatest thing.
It's so good.
And okay, I want to preference Star Wars Return of the Jedi. The theatrical version is my favorite movie of all time.
Yeah.
Because
You like Nub or what is it?
yes, because the not theatrical version has scenes that are useless.
Right.
Like what?
The dance scene with nice
Jedi
scrolls
rocks. Jedi rocks.
yelling. Yeah, why? George Lucas, what? If you don't know what I'm talking about, most
Good.
people who've seen Return of the Jedi have probably seen the edited version.
They
And I'm
add
talking-
an entire musical version in Jabba's palace
musical
called Jedi Rocks.
For like
where
3
they-
minutes for no reason, right before the Rancor scene.
It's so funny.
It's just people. It
It's
has
so
no
stupid.
use to anything.
That's pretty funny.
But yeah, that's my favorite movie of all time. Call me a nerd all
that's
you
true.
want.
I think all 3 are pretty valid lists.
I
I
agree.
don't know about you guys.
If you ever need movie recommendations,
Ask
talk to
any of
any
us.
3 of us, and
Any
we'll
of us.
sit and talk to you for half an hour about
Yeah,
what
we-
movies you have to watch.
Because that's exactly what we just did, and we talked about like 14
Okay,
movies.
so our
total.
top 1: Whiplash, Secret Life of Walter Mitty, and Return of the Jedi. Those are the
Yep.
ones you gotta
Good
see.
list.
Go
Yeah.
watch.
Good,
Go
goated.
watch. All right. Well,
All right.
just about wraps up this episode.
Sweet.
Hopefully next week we'll have a friggin' guest.
Or we might
We gotta
use the,
film
we might
again.
use the lost episode next week.
I think the week after we may have to.
Probably weekend.
We may be. Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
We'll see.
We'll
Next
see.
week is prom.
Who knows what
we
will be
may have
happening
we
next
may have
week.
some whack stories to tell you from prom next week. Hopefully,
true.
if
It
all
works
goes
out.
according to plan.
All right. Well, make sure you like and subscribe and comment whatever the hell you want. What's your favorite movie? What's your favorite
Yeah, tell
movie
us what your
in
favorite
the
movie
comment
is.
section. Who knows? Maybe one of us will
Yeah.
listen to it or watch it. All right.
Maybe.
Thank you
Hopefully.
for
Probably
listening,
not.
and we'll see you again next week.
Goodbye.
Peace.
Bye-bye.